Hello dear friends and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We will continue checking the games of Challengers group of Veikanze, Tata Steel. Let's go. So we are having the following pairings. A local player Arthur Bears uh, against Aydin Soleimanli and very short draw. Bishop b5, c6 takes bishop d3, knight d5 and h4. I just want to remind you that Mendonca with the white pieces against Geimer, they had knight f3 and bishop d6. Here short castle, rook e1, f5, knight d5, queen f6 is the main line. And here knight c3 was played. And not knight f4, f5, knight takes d5, c takes d, b4, knight c6, bishop b5, bishop b7, and bishop c2, bishop c6, bishop b2, or bishop b2. I think it's almost the same. And knight e5, rook e8. And here, if I'm not mistaken, Mendonca went f4. As we can see, engines are showing also d4, bishop b4, c3, bishop d6. Yes, d4 was played. Short castle. And bishop takes e5, f takes e, rook takes e5. Anyway, h4, h6, queen h5, queen f6, yes, knight h7, rook takes h7, bishop h7, g6. Knight f7 doesn't work because of knight f4, queen e5, king f7, and knight e4, queen e6, and knight g5, queen f6, knight e4. Players repeated the position and agreed in a draw. b3 was played by Alireza against Caruana. So also in some other games, I think it was Atiban against Shant, Sargisian, Tatar Masters. Anyway, game ended in a draw. Let's move to see Vaishali with the white pieces against Lu. b4, Catalan, and knight c3. Yes, d takes c is one of the options for black. Yes, knight b d7, a5 was played by Lu, c6. Yes, knight d2, b5 is the idea. C takes d, c takes d, or c takes b, c takes b, knight b5, queen b6, b3, b6. We see that Chinese player is well prepared. Knight e5, bishop a6, and knight of d7. Yes, no doubts. Vaishali was playing over the board without much prep, without much knowledge. C takes d. Yes, knight e5 is working. C takes d was played. Rook c1 takes, and here knight d7, rook a7, queen d2, rook d7. Computer likes more knight d7 move, but most likely, yes, knight d7. And what if I go just rook fd1, preparing these e4 ideas? You just go queen b8 or knight c5. So this, and now bishop b4, Queen e7. Yes, queen g4 or queen a4. Knight b5. Bishop f1. Yes, another inaccuracy, I would say. White is maybe slightly better. Yes, white is better, no doubts. And much better. Yes, queen h4 or queen f4. Bishop a6, rook a8. b4, a takes b, a takes b, queen a4. B takes c, queen takes a6, c takes b, rook c2, rook c2. And here, of course, black doesn't have any problems after queen d4 or any other move. But I don't think white is having any problems also. And we see that Frederick Swane won his first game in this tournament against Oro Faustino. Yes, well-known line, and this, and this. Yes, short castle is another option. Queen c2, maybe stopping bishop f5, but I don't think after short castle black is really planning to play bishop f5. Yes, as I know, bishop f8 is the best move here. a5, rook d1, bishop f8, h3, knight d7, king h1, b, b5 or knight f6, and knight g3. White is already slightly better. Yes, white could play f3, but very deep move by Frederick, knight b1. Yes, bishop e6 or bishop a6, queen b6 was played, also very decent move, knight d2. Of course, knight is heading to b3, c5, or maybe f3, e5, or maybe just opening this c file for the rooks. And b4, bishop a6, rook a6, and knight f5. Computer doesn't like this rook c8 move. Bishop takes, bishop d6, and now white is much better. Bishop takes f8, knight d6 would have been better move. Bishop takes f1, knight takes f1, and then probably knight c8 or knight e8. Knight is coming to g3. Queen c5 takes, knight e7 takes, rook a8, takes, rook e6, this takes, king g1, very good move, g4. Yes, computer likes more rook a3 move. Takes, and most likely slowly white will collect this pawn on d3. Yes, completely winning position for Frederick. And here Faustino Oro resigned. No, he got definitely his chances. He was more or less well prepared, because I don't think we can really say well prepared, because this position everyone knows, and who once in his life checked some games of Magnum or any high rated player games because very often in top level players are practicing this position. Yes, and later on, Faustino uh, was started making some inaccuracies, mistakes, and slowly got very unpleasant position. We do have Divya against Nguyen. Yes, I think Erwin Lamy played this line against Svane Frederick, and already I said that I had my game against Roberto Vanisian. Yes, d5 is the main move, short castle, long castle 95, another idea, another position, rook g1, b5, g4, knight g6, bishop d6, b4, bishop e3, rook e8, g5, b4, c4, bishop a6 would have been the best. Yes, game ended in a draw. Hard to say. I know that Divya and Nguyen are quite close. Mm, close friends, but yes. Okay, anyway, game ended in a draw. Let's continue checking other games. And Benjamin Bok won with the white pieces against Gurel. So we already noticed that somehow Gurel doesn't show his best qualities. At least he didn't in his first round game against Bulmaga. Bishop e3, bishop e7, bishop e6, h5. Theoretical line. Usually Bok plays b4 or some knight f3, g3. I don't remember him playing much e4 and at least last couple of years. Knight d5, knight takes d5, it takes d, bishop f5, bishop e2. Wow. I think I had this position a few times. Yes, I had this position against Zaven Andresian last year in Armenian National Championship. I also had this position against Sergei Lobanov, also against Ivan Sharic. Uh, and the move here is to play. I think you even start with maybe even a5. At least what Anish recommends in his course. You go a5 or you even play a short castle a5. I can maybe see it. Of course, recently uh, players started with some bishop h4 move. Oops. Yes, at least this Dominguez Robson Yes, knight a5, bishop h4, and bishop f6 is there, and now yes, you should play a5. Knight a5. As I know, this should be unpleasant position for black. Queen c7, c4, h4, b4, h3, g4, rook c1. Maybe even c5 was working. D takes c, d6, bishop d6, rook fd1. At least engines are recommending. Yeah, some rook d8, stopping c5, f5 was played, and now c5. This is already very, very unpleasant position for Gurel, close to lost. And c takes d, and bishop c5. Yes, if you go queen f6, then bishop e7, d6 ideas are there, maybe even queen f6, d6. And takes, d6. Black doesn't have time to start some attack uh, on white's king side. Bishop h4, queen d5, knight takes b7, c6, queen c4. Yes, very classy move. Queen a3, queen b3. Yes, and here Gurel resigned. Yes, very good game. Well played game by Bog. Yes, I should say that I remember Gurel always playing this e45 and Petrov. I don't remember him much playing this e4 c5 Nadorf. Mm. Yes, at some point, of course, he went wrong and he was not much familiar with the ideas and the theoretical line. I don't think this knight d7 short castle is very much recommended by, let's say, top players. Yes, either you should go bishop h4, bishop f6, or maybe even bishop h4, bishop e7. Yes, just provoking this g3, or you should go a5, what Anish is recommending. And we do have another game, Nodirbek Yakuboev with the white pieces against Nogerbek Kazibek, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan uh, duel. And I remember they previously they played some games each other. C5 takes this. Rook d1, queen a5, a3. Yes, I myself played many times rook d8, rook e8. Recently, I switched to h6. I recommend h6 move. I remember in 2024, it was beginning of the year, Yu Yangyi went bishop e7 against me. I think I played bishop e2. And also maybe Aditya Mittal played this bishop e7 move recently against me. Knight e4, c takes d. I remember knight e4, c takes d, knight c3, b takes c, takes d. Something like that was played by Yu Yangyi against me. We can maybe even try to find. Let's see, can we or not? Not really. I think rook e8 was played by Aditya against me. And no, maybe even here, rook e8. Anyway, dear viewer, you can find my games against Yu Yangyi and against Aditya Mittal, it was 2024. B7, and d takes c takes bishop d7. Yeah, seems like Nogerbek is well prepared. And rook fd8. Takes, bishop e8. And very easily black equalized the game. Rook d8, g4. Nogerbek tries to keep the rooks. Knight e7. Queen d2. And now rook takes c6. Yes, knight e5. Yes, here queen b1 maybe was possible, but after losing first game with the black pieces against Lu, Nogerbek decided to not try and to play very solid, and especially against such a high-rated and strong player like Adirbek Yakuboev. And we do have Maga with the white pieces against Erwin Lam. Short castle and rook e3. Bishop b4, 91. Wow. So already 91 was played most likely by Irina over the board. And h6, knight g5, short castle, knight h7. Black doesn't have any problems. Despite having knight on h7, very soon you will go f6. Yes, bishop f2, f takes c, d takes c. Rook f5, knight f8, knight g6. Yes, already bishop h4, knight f4 tactical ideas were there. Yes, why a3, why not knight d2? Probably because of knight b4. And knight h8, this is already too much. Knight f7, knight h6. Yes, knight f3 would have been better move, and white doesn't have any problems. Here as well, white doesn't have problems. And knight d4. Something like knight d2, knight f3, or knight dc5. Queen g6. Rook goes probably to f8, and then knight is jumping to f5. Also fighting for the c file. Yes, f5, knight f5, knight f4. Not the easiest tactical idea. And queen e4, knight f5, and d4. Takes rook c3. Completely lost position for white. And here, after knight e3, unfortunately for Bulmaga, white is completely lost and she resigned. I think I do have it here. Let's see the standings after 2 rounds. We do have 1.5 points out of 2. Lu, Erwin Lamy, Vaishali, Svane, Bok, Nguyen, Yakuboev. Only 2 players are having 50%, Suleiman Lee and Gurel. 3 players are having half point out of 2, Nogerbek, Divya, Pitch Pairs. And somehow tournament doesn't go well for Oro, Faustino and Irina Bulmaga. Uh, it was more or less expected that tournament can go very uh, tough, can be very tough for Irina because she is, even by rating, she is the uh, last number in tournament, and everyone will try to uh, get maximum against Irina. Of course, she is fighting. She is doing quite well. And first game against Gurel, she was very close to uh, achieve a draw, and she was playing quite nice. And against Erwin with the white pieces, she had her chances, but somehow something is uh, missing for the time being. Yes, thank you very much, dear friends. Let's very briefly check the pairings for third round. Nguyen Yakuboyev, very important game. Suleimanli Divya, Gurel pitch pairs. Erwin Lamy against Bob. Oro Ulmaga, Lu Svane, Nogerbek Vaishali. Once again, thank you very much, dear friends, dear viewers. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave your comments, and share your thoughts about this tournament and generally, who do you think will win the challengers?